About 5 years ago, a friend and I came down to the mill here, and down the back of the building there was a heap of rather filthy old equipment, not doing anything. In fact, you've seen the cameras that were involved. The only system that was complete enough to even consider getting going was the Mark V camera. All the other cameras, we've only got really the camera heads, so never could get them going, but we set about getting that to work along with a picture monitor. It took us 5 years before we actually got usable pictures from it. That we worked with, the public came and had a look, and we ran that for quite a while, and then it went into a year where it wished to do nothing at all, and it's still slightly in that situation. And when we've got enough time, we'll have to come back and sort it, get it back up to proper running condition. But it was a start, and then we gradually built up from there. What you've seen we have here today, and the team also grew, and it's been a lot of hard work, but it's been fairly rewarding. We've had some good interest from people, so worth the effort, I think. I joined the Marconi company as a student apprentice back in 1958, and after 4 years I found myself in the colour development lab at Pottery Lane in those days. And initially we worked on providing a demonstration at Lime Grove Studios to decide on which TV standard would be used for the UK. Luckily we chose PAL and not CCAM and other things. And then straight on from that pretty well, 1965, I started work with others on the development of the Mark VII colour camera you've already seen. And once that was complete, I was moved over to the Tele Cine department, where we made a system that was based on the Mark VII studio camera. That used basically cinema projectors, one from Bauer for 16mm, one from Philips for 35mm, and 2 Marconi produced slide projectors. And that was a start, but it had a fair bit of work to do. We had to change the video processing because it's different for Tele Cine, quite a lot of differences. And that went on for a little while, and then the company started developing the Mark VIII studio camera, and we then started making a new Tele Cine based on that, and that machine had all 4 projectors incorporated into one machine. Previously they were on separate little islands around the camera, switched in by an optical multiplexer. The 16mm projector was particularly special because it could have instant start, variable speed, and also run fast to get between segments. The 35mm couldn't. So that was the state then, but then by the mid-70s, technology had advanced. We could see digital possibilities coming along, and I was certainly interested in being involved in that. So 75 I started playing with digital video, and it wasn't much more than playing, to be honest. But by 1978, at the Montreux exhibition, we introduced the DICE intercontinental standards converting equipment, which is basically a PPC design built by Marconi, and at the same time the picture bending equipment, Quantel equipment, was also there, and 2 of us decided it was possible, we thought, to make a fully digital Tele Cine system, and by the October of that year, just 40 years ago this year, we convinced the management to give us the money to start work. And 18 months later, approximately, the machine was rolled out at Montreux in 1980, and it was the world's first fully digital system. We had so much interest, we had to ration people's time to come and look at the machine. And it was, I've never seen that before, nor since. This machine provides quite a lot of facilities. You can see all the control buttons here, and this is just the local controls. There's another set of controls over on the desk, which is even bigger than this. And basically you have vision controls here, so we can switch to bars, you can see that there, and we can switch to negative, switch to mono and that sort of thing, and we can control the colour bounce to correct for film differences. Then obviously we can stop, we can go backwards, not enough information on there to see it's backwards, but and then we can also shuffle. The picture has to break up because the information is coming quite quickly. And we're back to still frame. And so quite a few, the film's just about to run out, so I'll stop. Otherwise it's going to be a big clunk. It can have either common optical, common magnetic sound, or separate sound on a separate machine, which used to be a common thing with news pieces, but not so common these days. When we designed this machine, you couldn't get area array CCDs such as used in everybody's mobile phone and the like today. They just weren't developed yet, but you could get single line arrays, just 1024 pixels in the line, that were used for fax machines. And this is what's used in this machine. And you can see here the blue, red and green positions. They have got, each one has got a single line chip in there. If I just press the button here, you can see this is the single line it currently is looking at. If I move the film, you can see that obviously a change, but normally the image is picked up and then converted digitally into a proper image. I need to run it again to get an image. So that's the way this worked, and it was the first machine that did the whole job digitally. There were other machines, Bosch made one that scanned with CCDs, but nobody else, to my knowledge, did full digital electronics, I think for nearly 10 years after this one. So they're still in use today. About 20 around the world are still working today. This one's just come down from the East Anglia Film Archive, where it's been for 10 years being used for transferring all the archive material. They've got another 4 at the moment, so they can spare one.